William Samoei Ruto, who is the Deputy President of the Republic of Kenya, running a parallel government in this country? That's one question which most Kenyans were asking yesterday. Because we all remember that the government of Kenya, in their own wisdom, decided to deport Harun Aydin. But the Deputy President, who is part of government and the second in command, decided to go to Twitter. And this is what the Deputy President posted. And that's why I'm posing the question. Is William Ruto running a parallel government in this country? The government decides to deport this gentleman. Then Ruto, through his official social media handles, Twitter and Facebook, is saying, just talked and apologized on behalf of government of Kenya to Aydin Harun, now in Turkey, who was politically arrested, tortured, and falsely profiled, but later asked to fly out, not to shame or to shame those involved. Political pettiness is expensive and dangerous and will destroy our economy. Shame. Now, the Deputy President and his brigades have always insisted that this gentleman was an investor. But one question they failed to answer is, where are his investments? What was he investing in this particular country called Kenya? I know the government might have more information than I do, but even personally, I don't trust this guy, because this guy would have even defended himself by coming out that I came into this country to do this, to do this, to do this, and this is what I've been doing up to this point. The fact of the matter is that this guy was involved in money laundering. And let me take you to another tweet by Kipchumba Murkomen. Kipchumba Murkomen is saying, Turkish businessman Harun Aydin was not deported. He was requested to leave the country voluntarily to help cool things off and for the desperados to save face. The truth, however, is that the pressure from Turkish government was unbearable. The questions were asked and answers are amassed. I don't understand, but there's a narrative which is coming out from William Ruto's tweet and a narrative which is coming out of Kipchumba Murkomen's tweet. Now let me go to another tweet by Dennis Itumbi, because Dennis Itumbi is also the self-appointed hustlers spokesperson. Itumbi is saying, Aydin, speaking from Turkey, has even confirmed that he bought his own ticket home. In essence, Kenya government detained a Turkish citizen without trial. Kifua, upumbavu, and madharau commandeered by State House and implemented by the thief and the Lamada architects. He's talking of either Matiang'i or Kibicho. State House basically is talking of President Uhuru Kenyatta. Before we get into that, I think the Deputy President of the Republic of Kenya must treat that office with the respect it deserves. He might be mistreated, but the fact that he's mistreated by the government doesn't mean that he must also give the office a bad name. That's just my take. But in this video today, I want us to look at the message which the Deputy President is actually passing to President Uhuru Kenyatta after this gentleman was deported through that tweet. And for those who are watching this channel for the first time, I want you to take a second or two and click the subscribe button so that next time we produce a video like this, YouTube will automatically notify you. And to the subscribers, I want to continue to thank you guys for your continued support. I'm very happy. You can even tell from my face the act, those small acts you do on this channel, just like giving the video thumbs up, sharing the videos and dropping comments, are actually contributing to the videos being recommended to more people, and therefore more subscribers are coming in, and therefore more views. So I want you guys to support your guy, Makwiny, just by sharing the video, clicking the thumbs up for those who want, and those who cannot comment, it's okay, but for those who can comment, just drop your comment. Now, before we get into all this, President Uhuru Kenyatta summoned the former NASA principals to Mombasa for a meeting. That's our next video. And I would want to read your comments. What probably is the objective of that meeting? Because Raila Odinga has just arrived, and this is how he arrived. Now let us get back to the main issue and begin by reading or going through this tweet by the Deputy President once more. William Ruto is constitutionally the Deputy President of the Republic of Kenya. Our constitution, I'm just trying to get the constitution. Our constitution is very clear on the functions of the Deputy President of the Republic of Kenya. According to our constitution, Article 147, it says the Deputy President shall be the principal assistant of the President and shall deputize for the President in the execution of the President's function. So basically, he's supposed to be the principal assistant to the President. So if the President executed this deportation, because I'm certain that there is no way anybody within the security sector would deport this guy if he was an investor, without the President's knowledge, without the Security Council of the country aware, of which the Deputy President is even part of them. So the first role is that he's supposed to be the principal assistant, and therefore issuing a contrary opinion, like apologizing on behalf of government, in my view, is an act of insubordination. That means William Ruto is running a parallel government. Number two, it says the Deputy President shall perform the functions conferred by this constitution or any other functions of the President as the President may assign. I'm certain the President did not assign William Ruto the function of going out there to apologize on behalf of the government. Number three, it says, subject to Article 134, when the President is absent or is temporarily incapacitated, and during any other period that the President decides, the Deputy President shall act as the President. Of course, in this country, we were alive when President Uhuru Kenyatta allowed William Samoei Ruto to act as the President, I think when he went to The Hague. And number four, the last function of the DP is that the Deputy President shall not hold any other state or public office. So once you are a Deputy President, you remain a Deputy President. You don't become a government spokesperson. You don't become the Minister for Interior. You don't become any other thing. Your work is well spelled. And that's why I asked the question, is William Samoei Ruto running a parallel government in this country? And what were the objectives of this particular tweet by the Deputy President? Let me just read it again, because I want us to talk about it. Just talked, because if you listen to Itumbi also talked of the phone call from Turkey, from this guy from Turkey. So which means probably they were together. Just talked and apologized on behalf of government of Kenya to Aydin Harun, now in Turkey, who was politically arrested, tortured, and falsely profiled, but later asked to fly out, not to shame those involved. Political pettiness is expensive, dangerous, and will destroy our economy. Shame. Now, that tweet is not from any other person. That tweet is from the second in command in this country. That is William Samoei Arap Ruto. But what was the objective of that tweet? Because in politics, nothing happens out of mere coincidence. The moment the deputy president and his team decided to sit down and do this tweet, and that's why I read the three tweets. The one by Itumbi, which kind of is aligned to the one of the deputy president, because Itumbi is the guy doing the propaganda for them. And then the one by Kipchumba Murkomen. Kipchumba Murkomen is one of the legal advisors of the deputy president. So probably would have advised this guy that if he was not deported, then he can sue the government for defamation. Now, what was the objective of this particular tweet? In my view, the objectives are four, which the deputy president wanted to achieve. Number one, the deputy president wants to insist that Harun Aydin was actually an investor, but was kicked out of government, out of the country because of politics. So the question which we must ask ourselves is, how many investors do we have in this country? And these investors we have in this country, are they following the same set of laws, or some are following different sets of laws? And if Aydin is being persecuted for associating with the deputy president, is the government really fair? Because Kenya needs investors. So in my view, one thing which the deputy president wanted to achieve was to pass this guy as an investor. The government passed him as someone who is a criminal, someone who is involved in money laundering. Because he's now out of the country, a lot of questions cannot be asked. But it would be good if this guy was a real investor. Then if you go to Google and just type his name, a lot of information in his businesses, the conferences he's been attending, should come up. So that's number one. Number two, I think it's also an act of defiance by the deputy president, William Samoei Ruto. He's telling the president that enough is enough. I've been silent enough. I'm no longer going to be silent again. That's what I'm getting from this tweet. Otherwise, silence is also a form of communication. The deputy president would have just remained silent and let this guy go. Once he's out of the country, then he would have started talking about it. But here is a situation where all his brigades were supporting this guy. So basically, it's an act of defiance. And that's why if you read that tweet, it's like he's running a parallel government, defying his own government. Number three, I think it was also intentioned to divert the attention of the country from the Uganda trip. Because what caused all this? The thing which caused all this is actually the trip to Uganda. The deputy president was scheduled to travel to Uganda. He was blocked. Before Kenyans knew, a gentleman emerged by the name Harun Aydin. And Kenyans were questioning a lot of things about Uganda. The 15 billion, they were asking. They were asking the real mission of the William Ruto in Uganda with Museveni. So a lot of questions were being asked about Uganda. But now this tweet is now Harun sending him to Turkey and leaving out anything to do with Uganda. And in my view, that's a very good strategy by the deputy president and his team. Number four is also about direct confrontation with the president. I think the DP is now telling the president that you've had your day, you've had your time, I'm now not going to allow you to do that. And that's why the tone of that tweet is not very smooth. It's not presidential, because we're talking of a deputy president, a person who can any day become the president of the Republic of Kenya. And lastly, I think it's also talking of failure of government. The DP has been keen on trying so hard to dissociate fully and completely from the government of President Uhuru Kenyatta, or from Jubilee government. If you read that tweet, he was talking of, let me just refer to the last bit. He was talking of will destroy our economy. How is kicking out Harun Aydin, a man who was not known by Kenyans before all this, can destroy the economy of the country? We had Miguna, who was deported. People demonstrated. He's still outside there. So that's the guy who should be brought back into the country. In fact, my prayer has always been that the government of Kenya should find it reasonable enough to bring Miguna back into the country, so that as he make noise, let him make noise in the country. None of these guys took the deportation of Miguna as a serious matter. Why? Because probably Miguna was part of NASA coalition by that time. But this gentleman, just one gentleman who has been in this country on and off, and you really can't pinpoint the businesses is involved in. You can only pinpoint that this guy came, then 15 billion left equity went to Uganda. Nothing more. Nothing is bringing into the country. So how can he destroy the economy? So the deputy president is simply trying so hard to dissociate himself from President Uhuru Kenyatta and his government. I don't know what you think. Let me hear your thoughts. Again, for those who are watching this channel for the first time, I want you to take a second or two and click the subscribe button. And just like I said earlier, my next video is about President Uhuru Kenyatta, Raila Odinga, Kalonzo Musyoka, Moses Wetangula, and Musalia Mudavadi's meeting in Mombasa today. What do you think they are going to discuss? That's my next video, but I would love to read those comments, your thoughts in the comment sections. So I'm basically going to take like the next, how many minutes? The next 1 or 2 hours just reading the comments. So those will be dropping their comments at that time. I'll be responding almost immediately. Thank you guys, and please may you have a good day. Bye-bye.